Joe Bob Briggs with a special welcome to all the Hercules and Xena raving fanatics who have tuned in to see the original Kevin Sorbo Hercules movie, the one they based the hit TV show on, with Lucy Lawless in her first Hercules appearance. It's Hercules and the Amazon Women. And speaking of dangers to society, I decided to kill 3 or 4 rollerbladers yesterday. I was walking along the sidewalk. I heard that familiar whoosh sound of a rollerblader passing my shoulder at roughly the speed of light, you know, coming within 1 inch of my left buttock. And he was doing that duck walk thing they do, where he skates like Hans the little Dutch boy, you know, sails out 3 feet to the right, 3 feet to the left, while his butt sticks up in the air like Charles Barkley diving for a loose ball. And I thought, well, what if I did that? What if I decided to start walking like R. Crumb? You know, big old sloppy duck step out to the right, and then a big old sloppy duck step out to the left. What if I did it like 1 second before the rollerblader got there? You ever tried to change direction when a buffalo herd of rollerbladers is bearing down on you? They get offended. You know, they tell you how hard it is to stop. Well, poor babies. You know, I could help them stop. I say stick them out on the street with the cabs and the motorcycles. You know, if we're going to make this into a contest, let's make it a fair contest. If rollerbladers want to play chicken with the world, let's pick on people a little bit more mobile than old women hauling hand carts. You know what I mean? We finally found the violent heart of the new ager. You know, these people who are bearing down on homeless men at 40 miles an hour are the same people who drink soy shakes for breakfast and protest against cruelty to tuna fish, but put 4 rubber wheels under each foot and strap a Sony Walkman to their head, and they become Hell's Angels who left their bikes at home. You know, actually, that's an insult to the Angels because they're great drivers. A lot of these rollerbladers look like Bambi slipping around on the icy pond, and then they act like you did something wrong if they get all tangled up in their own arms and legs. And what are they listening to on those Walkmans anyhow? I bet it's that guy Yanni, you know, or the new John Tesh CD for loving couples. You know, that explains it. That's what's happening. Well, I just ran out of time. So let's watch Hercules and the Amazon Women do the drive-in totals later. Roll it. I know what they're listening to. You know what they're listening to on those things? Whales talking. You know those whale tapes they sell at the zoo? Well, here's a little Captain Ahab music for you. You know what I mean? Is that about the cleanest village you've ever seen? Isn't it kind of a medieval Renaissance fairy kind of place, you know? Hercules was in ancient Greece, right? This looks about 1350 AD in England. And then the way they speak, good to see ya, Hercules. Good to see ya? Iolus is apparently descended from the branch of the Greek myth based in Malibu. And who knew that the ancient Greeks invented man-made fibers? Looks like they bought that wardrobe for this flick at J.C. Penney's. Anyway, this is the first Hercules movie made by Renaissance Pictures, the brainchild of the great Sam Raimi and Rob Tappert. Sam and Rob made 5 of these flicks for TV before they turned it into the mega smash hit show Hercules, The Legendary Journeys, and its spin-off, Xena Warrior Princess. So let's do those belated drive-in totals. We have 7 dead bodies, 2 buttocks, 3 brawls, death by being sucked into the ground, 3-headed giant snake fight, multiple feet washing, stabbing, choking, tripping, headbutting, throat slitting, triple backflip, triple front flip, plummeting to death off an ancient Greek high dive, kung fu, swinging through the forest on a rope fu, Amazon nookie, 4 stars. And by the way, did you guys notice the juggler in that spanking clean village? Now, that's one of the rules of cinema. Every ancient village must have a juggler. They were like stray cats. They were everywhere. You know, don't touch the juggler, honey. We don't know where he's been.
We'll be back with Joe Bob's Monstervision and Hercules and the Amazon Woman after these messages.
Oh, that Anya, isn't she a terrible cook? Ha, ha, ha. I think we need one more joke about Anya's cooking. That's the lovely Jill Sayre as Anya and Michael Hurst as Aeolus, the sidekick. Kiwi actor. That's what they call New Zealanders, which is, of course, where they shoot Hercules and Xena. All right, so tell you something you don't know, right? How about some trivia on Hercules himself, Kevin Sorbo? The first thing he ever did was a TV commercial for whiskey, and he had one line. This ain't Jim Beam. He was up for the part of Superman in Lois and Clark. He was up for David Duchovny's role in The X-Files, but instead he got Hercules, where he worked 14-hour days bare-chested and in 12-pound leather pants for 5.5 years. I'd like to thank the New York Times for providing that weight on the leather pants. No wonder the guy called it quits last year. You know, stick that puppy in syndication, start sending those checks. You know, ditch those leather pants. Okay, commercials, and then back to Hercules and the Amazon women. Everybody wants to go, they want their show to go into syndication. That's when they get to sit by the pool drinking passion fruit iced tea and watching their bank account grow like a pig on steroids, you know?
We'll be back with Joe Bob's Monstervision and Hercules and the Amazon woman after these messages.
We're not beasts, Hercules. We are women. How many times have we all heard that one? What's your comeback for that one? Nope, you are not a woman, you are a beast. But doesn't Lucy Lawless look cute as a button? She's a firecracker, isn't she? Of course, she went on to be Xena in the TV series and to get married to producer Rob Tappert, who we mentioned before. But I think she fits in more with the period here, you know? Why did they give her those 1980s bangs in the TV series? Of course, what period is it? I'm talking about these things like they have a period. I guess it's the period of Argentinian cowboy bolo weapon masked woman murdering she-devils or whatever. But then in the TV series, Xena and her sidekick Gabrielle look like they just walked out of the Facts of Life, right? Somebody write in and explain it to me. Care of TNT, 1010 Techwood Drive, Atlanta, Georgia, 30318. Or you can email me at joebob@turner.com. Actually, Gabrielle cut off her hair this season, but Xena's still got the bangs. Okay, let's do some ads and get back to the flick. The Amazons, by the way, they do go back to the Greeks. Homer mentioned them. Their original home was in the forests of the Thermodon Valley in Pontus in Asia Minor. And then when the ancient Greeks started exploring the Thermodon region and they didn't find any Amazons there, they figured Hercules had driven them off or something. So in legends that came after that, the Amazons kept getting further and further away. They were always just out of reach, right? Talk about your gullible audience back there in Greece. You know, no Amazons in Thermodon? They moved to Ephesus. Oh, they're not there either? You know what? The little village outside Naucratis. You know, oh, I can't believe I forgot. Nevada, they're in Nevada, you know, above the Arctic Circle. Antarctica with the penguins. That's where they are. They live with the penguins.
We'll be back with Joe Bob's Monstervision and Hercules and the Amazon woman after these messages.
Did Hercules just admit he's a chauvinist? Is that what happened? Did he say, what if I tried to change? What kind of panty-waist Hercules is that? Good grief. Anthony Quinn needs to slap him around a little bit, remind him what a terror his mama is. So it's Tough Chick Night, and to help us out with that and to bring us some of your more suitable letters, we have Rusty, the TNT mail girl. Wow.
So, do I look like Xena?
You look like you could break my neck is what you look like. Did I pay for this outfit?
Yes, but it's worth it. What a Rusty.
Ooh, only if you agree to spank me if I lose.
I am a Greek Amazon. I don't get spankings.
Well, then how about you just put me in a cage and make me your love slave?
Oh, for goodness sake, just read the letter. It's from Candy Peterson of Covington, Louisiana.
Hippolyta put Hercules in a cage in the movie. Dear Joe Bob, I love Monstervision and think you are the coolest. I like this one. Your infinitesimal knowledge of movies never ceases to amaze me. So far, my favorites are The Devil's Rain, The Fly with Jeff Goldblum, It's Alive, They Live, and Somewhere in Time. Just kidding on Somewhere in Time. My dream date with you would be to rent Night of the Living Dead and Return of the Living Dead, get a pizza, go back to your place to watch them, in the dark, of course. Afterwards, we could go out for coffee, then we could come back. What is the coffee part? I don't get that. And I could show you what a great personal assistant I'd make if you know what I mean, and I think you do. Keep making me smile. Love, Candy. Candy. Candy, very few people have had the insight to recognize my infinitesimal knowledge, so we are...
I don't think that's what she wrote.
Yeah, it is. Look right here, infinitesimal.
It says infantesimal. I think she's calling you an infant.
She just misspelled it.
I don't think so.
You want to fight over it, hand to hand, to the death? Come on, Russ. Oh. What is this? Okay, forget it, Uncle. All right. Nude mud wrestling is more my sport anyway. You know, ever since you started dating that Hercules guy at Universal Studios, what is that? What is that, a secret or something?
We'll be back with Joe Bob's Monstervision and Hercules and the Amazon woman after these messages.
Remember that book, Women Who Run with the Wolves? Remember that? Is that what this stuff is? Oiling up under the full moon, cinching your bustier and doing some kind of feminist Tae Bo exercises before you go off to rape men? I'm starting to kind of like it, you know? And that was such a nice speech that Hercules gave, wasn't it? Hercules channels mother love. That's what that was. And I like seeing the bad side of Roma Downey here. The star of Touched by an Angel gets down and dirty. And she kind of does in real life, too. You guys know about her affair with Michael Nouri? Yeah, it was in the paper. They were getting cuddly in a restaurant during the Sundance Film Festival this year. And Michael is married. And he's also carried on with Ronald Reagan's daughter and the ex-wife of Haiti's ex-dictator and a Playboy playmate. But guess what? His wife doesn't mind. Where do I find a wife like that? Okay, Michael, way to go. All right, commercials and back to the flick. Go. Although, think about that. Think about that. The ex-wife of Haiti's ex-dictator. That just sounds plain dangerous, don't you think? Let's not get carried away, Mike. You know, remember the serpent and the rainbow, you know, that nail through the scrotum scene? Mike, you know, if you're going anywhere in the whole Caribbean area, do not mix your sex with your politics, because they got voodoo powder down there. And more important, they got machetes.
We'll be back with Joe Bob's Monstervision and Hercules and the Amazon Woman after these messages.
What a bunch of weenies. Do you believe that? The whole message of this movie is that if guys will just get in touch with their female sides, women will be putty in their hands. But look who gets Lucy Lawless. The 164-year-old lech, Anthony Quinn. You know, I wonder if Lucy looks back on her career and says, yeah, the real turning point was that hot sex scene with Anthony Quinn. Okay, we're closing in on the end here. And by the way, those of you who are in mourning over the loss of the Hercules TV show will find comfort in knowing that Kevin Sorbo's new show, Gene Roddenberry's Andromeda, started shooting a couple of months ago. And of course, when Xena ends, God forbid, she'll live forever in the Sony PlayStation game. Okay, time for the exciting feminist conclusion to Hercules and the Amazon Women. Never mind that Amazon Women is redundant. Do the ads and then roll film. Oh, and check out our website sometime at tnt.turner.com/JoeBob. Has Xena had her baby yet? How many single TV women have had babies now? We had Murphy Brown, had that gal on Frasier, and now Xena's doing it. Kind of makes you feel used, doesn't it, guys? All we are these days is sperm depositors. Just makes me feel dirty.
We'll be back with Joe Bob's Monstervision and Hercules and the Amazon Woman after these messages.
Yeah, the old let's reverse time and act like it never happened ending. Well, we knew Michael Hurst was going to come back to life because he had to do 4 more movies and a TV series, didn't he? The wife kind of disappeared along the way, though. Did I mention that Potsy from Happy Days directed an episode of Hercules? Just thought I'd mention that. Okay, come back next week for your Stephen King health update while we watch the classic automotive horror flick, Christine. And that's it for me, Joe Oaxaca Briggs, reminding you that you can't teach an old dog new math. Oaxaca, that was a reference to the middle name of Anthony Quinn. Everybody knows that. His middle name is Oaxaca. You guys hear the one about the 75-year-old woman who goes to the doctor for a checkup? And the doctor tells her she needs more activity, and he recommends sex 3 times a week. So she says, well, you better tell my husband that. So the doctor goes out in the waiting room. He tells the husband that his wife needs to have sex 3 times a week. And her husband says, well, which days? And the doctor says, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The husband says, well, I can bring her in on Monday and Wednesday, but Friday she's going to have to take the bus. Joe Bob Briggs reminding you that the drive-in will never die. Quasimodo goes to a doctor for an annual checkup. The doctor says, I think there's something wrong with your back. And Quasimodo says, what makes you say that? And the doctor says, I don't know, it's just a hunch.